the show begin.
Welcome back to the Daughters of the Moon podcast. Mom and I are grateful that you can join us for another week, and we're super excited. We have Alla Kaluzhny back on with us. She was a previous guest on episode 77, 149, 171, and we actually did some live readings one time with her. So you can check all those out on either your favorite podcast platform or our YouTube channel, because there's where you'll find them. And so welcome back, Alla. We're really excited to have you on with us.
Thank you so much, ladies. It's a real joy, and I'm so happy to be invited to your show and start a new year on a high note. So happy New Year to you, and happy New Year to all your listeners. It's wonderful.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yes, and to you as well. And so what do you want to tell a little bit about yourself, just who you are, and then our listeners, that if they haven't caught one of the last episodes, they'll kind of know who you are?
Well, my name is Alla Kaluzhny, as you said. I live in Los Angeles. I came to the United States from the former Soviet Union, specifically from Ukraine, speak Russian, and my journey in the United States was very interesting. Like in any person who would immigrate, went through learning new language, acculturation, and working, getting to know the country, and I, just something comes up for me to share. And it is, when I came here, I started watching Saturday Night Live. And later I knew why I was doing this, because to understand the culture, you have to know what people are laughing at. Mm-hmm. What is the humor? Because Russian humor, American humor, there are two different things. So I started watching Saturday Night Live, and when I started laughing at what other people were laughing, I knew I was acculturating to the culture. And also when I came, the English was a problem. I started watching All My Children, if you remember that soap opera.
Yeah.
I watched All My Children for 18 years, and it really helped me with learning English.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And you actually do hear people say that, like if they're trying to learn Spanish or something else, to watch one of the Spanish soap operas, because that's where you can start to really put the different like language into that. So that's really neat that that's how you did it. And then now you've become an author.
And then I became an author suddenly, surprisingly to myself, because it was not in the plans, but it was in their plans, obviously. Yes, I became an author, and I published two books, two award-winning books. Why I am writing about past lives? My books are about past lives, and I call them spiritual memoirs. Because I had experiences of remembering my past lives in all different kinds of circumstances. And when those experiences became too many, I decided to write about them. And the title of the book, Turning the Pages, came from my dream many years ago. I had a dream before my 40th birthday that my husband made a book for me, and he called it Alla's Past Lives. And he handed it to me, and I only could open a couple of pages. The rest of them were glued together. So through writing this book, I am opening those pages. That's why the title, Turning the Pages, came up for me. And that's quite cool. A lot of stories there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
That is very cool. And it's neat that it's your stories that you're sharing with people.
Yes.
Like, so I think that's really fascinating. And then you went on for your second novel was about your friends, correct? And
that's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
the second
life
book,
connections with them.
Right. And the second book came out of the question, who were those people in my life that I became friends with and stayed friends with for a long time. Why some people come and go and some people are staying in our lives. And based on this premise, I started questioning, and I decided to write about certain people in my life, some very old friendships and some newer friendships. And it was a fascinating journey for me, for sure.
Yeah.
Very
Because
nice.
I was doing this for myself.
Well, yeah, and for your friends at that point too, right? Because then that
Exactly, yes.
shows your connection to them, and just that I think that's interesting, like how it is. Like I always find it interesting with past life regressions and knowing our past lives of who came forward to us in this life, and
Hmm.
what's our connection now, what was it in the past, and I always find that so intriguing. So that's interesting that you dove into that, and they were receptive to it as well, I would imagine.
Yes, they were. And what before publishing, and I don't know if I shared this before when we met last year, but it's okay to share again. When I completed when all chapters were completed, I sent everyone their chapters so
Nice.
they could read and either agree or disagree or whatever. Of course, they did not have any memories because they didn't have skills that I have to bring those things to my conscious, bring them to consciousness, to my conscious mind. But they were all finding something
Nice.
in the chapters that they could relate to.
And so how do you get the information about your past lives? Do you just like channel it? Do you get it in your dreams? Do you just kind of sit in meditation? Like, how do you tap into that?
Channel.
You
I
channel.
channel.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I think it's very interesting because I just think there's just so much to be learned. I just recently did a past life regression, so I find it very interesting to just hear or know what your past life is, to, like I say, to move forward and help you in this life and with some of the struggles. And so, do you still do past life stuff for yourself and for other people, or?
Yes, I do, but I do the in a way of card readings,
Okay.
and I started reading past life cards, and I find and I know we did the readings together, and it's a fascinating process. I am every time I do the reading, I'm surprised myself how accurate those readings are. And it's also what because I went through hypnosis motivation institute, and we did past life regressions. But regression is a regression, so person is in a semi-conscious state.
Right.
When we do past life readings, the readee is actively participating. And it's not scary, it's not emotional. I mean, it is emotional, but it's not on a different level of consciousness. And there's a completely different experience from past life regression.
Yes. 100% there is.
And I even write in the second book, I was guided by my higher self because I was writing about one of the friends and I could not get through some information. So I was asking, what's the block in my higher self? Oh, go and read, pull the card for yourself. I said, what do you mean, pull the card? Yeah, you're reading for others. Why don't you read it for yourself?
Yeah. Well, and I find it so funny because, and I don't know if you find this, and Mom, you can maybe weigh in on this as well, is I find it so interesting because I pull out a card every morning. I journal and then I pull a card for myself. And so it's very funny to me. Often the card that I pull will have some relevance to whatever it was that I journaled and was, brain dumping onto my paper. And then it's funny because I'll follow different people on social media or get some emails and then be like, here's the card of the day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like they just all run together, right? So I think our higher conscious, when we need this information, if we're open to it, is always going to provide it for us.
Absolutely. Yeah. If we only can read those synchronicity moments. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you find that too, Mom? That like you just
I do. I find that they all come together. It was interesting. I pulled out a deck of cards the other day because I haven't used them for a long time. And I pulled them out and thought, oh, gee, I haven't used these for a while. And I started looking at them and I thought, oh my goodness, it was so, it's about the awakening of now sort of thing. And that's what these cards are all about. So yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying there. It all falls together, what we
Yeah.
need.
If we only could would pay attention, our lives would be so much more graceful.
yes,
At a
exactly.
younger age too,
Yeah.
I think that's the nice thing about today is we're trying to say to you or to people out there, pay attention when you're young too, because it's going to make your life just so much easier and give you the things that you're looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all about awareness, but yeah, there are more children or young people are becoming in tune to what's going on inside of them and outside, and some not, but everybody has their own lessons to learn.
That is exactly it. And I think we learn them. And I think it's interesting too, sort of talking about this and sort of the past and going into the future because, with last year being a 9 year and the ending and transforming and shedding your skin, and then coming into this new year where it's all about transformation and new beginnings and all of this stuff. Did you find like through that the past lives really kind of came into place for you?
I believe that there's not a day that I don't think about some story from my book, especially when it comes to animals. And this is the book number 3 that I wrote in trilogy. I decided, well, I didn't really decide. It was kind of given to me to explore this. But yes, I am looking at and I'll go back to what I was saying, but I want to answer your question. I do think about past lives. And even in any conversation, like we've been meeting, the 3 of us, there is 4th time.
Yeah.
We've been before, and I have no doubt that we knew each other before. We met before. We were, I don't know, maybe not close friends, but we were friendly to each other. There's a reason why we keep circling back to each other.
Right.
Because we knew each other before.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that because it's interesting, like having done this podcast, and Mom, I think you would agree with me on this, but certainly weigh in on that if it's different or if you want to add. But is that there is just some people that we have interviewed on the podcast that just you have a different connection than other people, right? It's not that we don't love everybody and we learn from everybody that we interview. But yes, there's like yourself, like where we've had you on quite a few times, and there's some other people we just kind of, and it's like an instant connection. So it is something that that you've traveled some other kind of life in some way with each other.
Yeah. And as you're speaking, I have goosebumps.
Well, that's good then.
Yeah.
That means it lands, right?
Right. Yes, that's a confirmation of what you're saying rings true.
Yeah.
It does ring true because it just feels so natural when we're on here with you, talking to you, and the way we can exchange words so easily, and just go into the next part of where we need to go in order to either just educate our own selves or the people that are watching us as well, right? Because I think we learn a lot from each other every time we're on with each other too.
Exactly. Yes.
Absolutely.
And this is the graceful exchange that we have. The energy is flowing among 3 of us, and that's to benefit other people who are listening right now, who will be listening. They will be learning, and another important thing, I believe, they will be looking at their friendships. They will be looking at their relationship, and they will, make a mental note. Why this person is in my life? I wonder. So once we start asking questions, I wonder, that's the whole new door is opening up,
Yeah.
and
I
they
thi-
can walk in and find out.
Exactly. And I think a good practice even for people is like writing to me is such a release. And I love pen. Oh, I'm old fashioned. I still love pen to paper myself over, typing or anything else. Like
Mhm.
pen to paper for me just connects me really to my higher source. So asking
Right.
that question, like you're saying, is, why do I have this relationship with this person? And just like almost like an automatic writing thing, but just see what
Mhm.
comes, I think would be interesting for a lot of people to delve into of, why is this person in my life this time around?
Right. And I want to mention that people in my book, I only had positive relationship with them. I excluded people who, well, obviously, if they were not good, I would not continue relationship with them. Why would I need that,
Yeah.
sore in my eye? But I use the premise of friends are the family we choose.
Mhm.
And from there on, I started writing that
Well,
book.
that's a good spot to come from, though, right? And I think I love that you kept it in a positive frame, and that you know what I mean? Because there's so much negativity in the world, and not that that doesn't have its place, that we need to do that shadow work. But I think when we're like putting things out there and sharing it with people, I think this positive stuff is really great, because
Yeah.
it really gives us a good feeling inside then.
Yeah.
Can I share something?
Sure.
While we're doing the exchange right now, I'm sitting back and I'm thinking where we were before. I see all three of us with the big hats on, with the plumes at the side, with the big dresses on. We're sitting there having a tea at a table, and it's someplace in Europe, and you can tell because of scenery around and everything. And we're sitting there, and what we're doing is exchanging artwork.
Huh.
We have drawings in front of us, and we're talking and exchanging and adding to this. We're drawing on these things at this table while we're having our tea and communicating, and that's just fun.
Wow. And I had another wave of goosebumps as I was listening to you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I could just feel that, and just like, yeah,
I felt it
interesting.
was friends.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. I'm watching that as I'm talking to you guys. Like, oh,
Uh, I should delve into this when I release my book number 3. I should delve into this story
There you go.
yes, please.
and see what happens, and maybe you do too, and then we compare the notes.
It would be cool because it looked like it was almost like astrology or something that was the stars or something in what we were doing. So yeah, very cool.
Absolutely. Well, I know we have had connections, so
We
I'm
have
Yes.
not
definitely.
surprised.
No,
Yeah.
no, not at all. So did you
Oh.
find, like, was there a change for you in 2025 to, like, or are you making changes from how last year was going into this year?
Um, I That's my intention. And I decided, and speaking about synchronicities, so I'm taking the course right now with Denise Lin, and she's the Oracle card. I did the soul coaching program with her and became certified by her. And now I've been in her program. It calls a Mystical Odyssey. And she talks a lot about decluttering, a lot about decluttering. uh,
She
and
loves decluttering. I
yes,
like
and today I had, right before I came in, one of my friends from my writers group, he published a book about downsizing due to mature age, and he talks about decluttering. So I think I have a pretty clear message about decluttering. So I guess my year will start with decluttering books, clothes. That's about it. Not crystals, not pets, not plants. But I'm gonna start with what's in my right before me that I need to do. So I will start with releasing stuff and open myself for a new stuff coming in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we need that space, right? We need to,
Yeah,
and I think that's the biggest thing with the decluttering is, releasing and creating that space to bring these other things in. Because if we have no
absolutely.
space, how do we bring new things in for our lives,
Right.
right? I'm a big, huge declutterer. So
Well, I'm not.
friends with Denise
So
Lynn
maybe
because
2026 year one will be a turning point for me to become a declutterer. Yeah. And
I
what
find it
interesting I heard today about not just taking book or clothes, something can put in a donation bag, but and it was very interesting because now I'm going to definitely implement this to say thank you to that clothes or to that book for being on my shelf, even though I never read it. But it's
the truth.
impossible. But to thank it and send it to somebody else who will get something out of that clothes or the book or whatever else.
yeah.
Right. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been working on, it's funny because I'm constantly, Mom can attest to this, but I'm constantly decluttering in my house. And we have in our garage, we have a no thank you box, which is where we put the things that we want to release. And then we all have a chance to go through them before we donate them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's been interesting because I've been going through closets and dressers and just different things that I don't normally declutter. And it's like, this feels so good, just to
Yes.
touch them. And do they bring me happiness? Is this still what I want to wear? Is this still what I want to read? Because I mean, we mature and we change and our life goes in different directions. And what's calling to us at one point isn't always calling to us at a different point in our
Right.
life.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's great that our conversation shifted to decluttering because many people want to do it in the beginning of the year, and I'm one of them.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I did that with jewelry too. And I thought, how many times do you go pick up jewelry someplace, but you never wear it? And then you look in your jewelry box for something and you're pushing through everything because you can't find what you really want, And so this year I've been decluttering jewelry, and it's been fun because as you can see, what I've done is I've taken all the jewelry that I had, or not all of it, but a lot of it, and had them made into rings that fit my fingers.
Hmm.
Because they only would fit one or two fingers, right? So I thought, why don't I wear them? Why don't I wear them? And then that way they're not in the jewelry box. They're not sitting in the jewelry box still. It's not something I would normally do is wear jewelry like that. But I thought, what the heck? New year, new imagination.
Right. Yeah. That's great.
It is.
That's great. I also wanted to. I'm not ready to declutter my jewelry yet. When I worked, I have boxes, not boxes, but yeah, I have a lot. But first books and clothes, and then I'm gonna be releasing jewelry. Some.
Well, when
It's
you're
fun.
ready, right?
Yeah.
It was the same as Mom. Like for a long time, she had all these clothes, and I would say to her, maybe you should think about getting rid of some of these clothes that you wore when you worked in the office. And she's like,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Yeah.
but I might need them. I'm like, you might, but for where? But then I let it go because it's not my
It's
place to, right? Like
right.
I can't declutter for her, right? I mean, yes, there's
Mm-hmm.
people that
Yeah.
do that, but like she's got to be ready to release that stuff. And
You
until
do
you
have to be
are
ready.
your
Exactly.
jewelry, until you're ready to let it go, you need to keep it for whatever the reason is that you need to, right? And I think the biggest thing with that is we shouldn't be judging each other for keeping these things because we don't know why that hold is on that.
Yes, yes. And what just came up, a story that Denise shared today in her group, in our group, uh, about a piece of cement that she walked to somebody's house, and there was a piece of cement standing like a brick, standing right in the middle of the room, and she was like, and then she said, "Tell me about it." And the woman said that she was in Berlin when the Berlin Wall was taken down, and that piece she brought it with her, and it represents the freedom for her.
Well,
Who can relate? If we were not there, or if Denise was not there, how she can understand it? She can understand what she said, that it was the meaning of freedom for her. But otherwise, it's just a piece of brick.
Exactly.
Just to someone else, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
to everybody else, but her.
Right.
Exactly. And I think that's important too. Like that's a really good, I'm pleased that you shared that, because I think that's an important lesson to people, is that, don't judge people until you kind of know. Maybe ask those questions like, why is it that you keep all those whatever? And then they'll tell you the story, and then maybe there's encouragement to let some of it go. Maybe it's just not their time yet to do that.
Yeah. It's all about perspective.
Yes, it is. One person's trash is another person's treasure.
That's true. That's the truth.
It's so funny because I had this, speaking of decluttering, so I had this necklace on, and I went to the gym yesterday and I threw it in my gym bag. And when I got home and I was getting it out and I went to put it away this morning, and I was like, oh, it broke. And I'm like, oh, well, I could probably glue it. And I'm like, or you can just put it into the garbage because it's broken, and it probably cost you $5 if you're lucky. So why? Like, I had to stop myself and ask myself that question. Why am I trying to? Because I do think that we can repurpose things sometimes, but it's like, you have 20 necklaces. You can just let this one go. So I did. Thank you for being with me. Off you go. But funny. I thought it was a funny story, just, as we're talking about it, and I'm like the queen of decluttering, but then I'm like, what? No, I got to hold on to this broken piece of jewelry. Oh, goodness.
True. Yeah.
Well,
do something. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sometimes we do that with teacups and things like that somebody's given us. We try to glue it back together because we think, they're either past or whatever the case may be. And then after a while, you look at them and go, it looks terrible in there. You can see it doesn't matter how I turn it, it looks terrible. It needs to be gone,
Right.
But it's just sentimental stuff too that we sometimes hold on to. We don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
We can still hold it in our heart and in our minds. We don't have to hold it that way.
Right.
Yeah. So
yes, the same. I've heard the same with photographs, with photos that everybody has, at least from last century, if not more. So those two have to be digitized. And I was thinking about doing this with my photography, with my photographs that carried on from my parents and from my in-laws and everything. Who needs it?
That's it. My mother used to take and cut the people out of the photograph. It looked terrible, but that's what she did when the people were gone. Yeah, she took them right out of the photographs. We're completely gone.
Outing the grandma. But it's true, right? We get so much stuff, and that is definitely one of my goals for this year, is because even though I declutter as a general rule, like broken plates or those kind of things that need to be thrown out, there's lots of things that pictures is one for me. And, they just kind of get stuck there, and it's like, okay, I need to get to that and do that. So my intention for this year is really about reading some books that I really have wanted to read and start ingesting. that I've been putting off. So that's one. And then one is to still continue decluttering some of these things. And yeah, do they need to be digitized? And I think some of these old pictures, it would be nice because then you'll be able to keep them forever instead of them getting faded in your books and things like that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know what, I was listening to you, I thought about, we are right now talking about external decluttering, what's in our present life, but also, and I just thought about it, internal decluttering.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of feelings were carried, the anger, the frustration, those things should be also looked at and considered to be not completely eliminated, but maybe diminished in our lives, because we all, or most of us, would benefit from internal decluttering. And that's for each of us, is to decide what is it that we want to diminish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we carry so much, I think, that doesn't serve us anymore, that, it was a story from our past that we do need to let that go now and say,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
goodbye. Thank you for being with me for
Yeah.
whatever. It's same as you were talking about decluttering, like thanking
Yeah.
it for being with you, and you can just move on now because I'm
Yeah.
going to open space for new things to come in.
New things. Yeah. And thank you for the lessons learned.
Yeah. And there's
We
been
just
many.
went out. Yeah, we just went out a little while ago. We went to this cauldron event, and when we were there, I bought these 3 black candles, and they were for to take away spirits or energies in the house you didn't need anymore. Well, it wasn't too long into the new year, and something happened where this energy from talking to some people came in during a conversation. And I thought, when I bought them, I thought, when will I ever use these? And then the next thing I know, I'm going into the room, getting the candles. This energy of negativity and everything else that I've got feeling right now has got to go away. For once and for all, I don't want to have to relive this anymore, sort of thing. And it was interesting because talking about that, I definitely that day said goodbye. Thank you very much. Don't come back.
Don't come back. Yes. Lesson learned. No more.
Exactly. And I think for this year, I've had, and I don't know about you ladies, but I've had such a push for knowing that it's a 1 year, knowing this new transformation is. So I quickly on New Year's Day wrote my 101 wish list. And I just, started just bringing in intentions for myself of like the Course in Miracles. So my last birthday, the kids gave me a card, and that's the book that I bought. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to read this book. I'm going to take the time. And then it's like, where do you take the time? And I'm like, you know what? Every morning I journal, I pull a card, do a little bit of meditation. I'm like, you know what? I'm also just going to include that book in my morning things, right? So about making space. So I'd be interested to hear if you guys have that feeling of that, like, push with this new year, and if you guys have made some intentions for yourselves.
I made intentions. Now I just have to follow through.
So with the decluttering, or was there other
with
things
with the decluttering and other things? Mine is I would like to do my yoga at 7 o'clock in the morning, and thus far it's not happening yet. But it's only January 6th, so
That's
early.
I still have a lot of days.
Exactly.
Yes. And what's interesting, this year one, but in tarot cards, it's also year 10, because it's a Wheel of Fortune, so card in major arcana. Somebody pointed out to me, and that's up to us how we turn this Wheel of Fortune, in what direction.
Interesting.
So I just want to share it.
Well, thanks. Yeah, that's interesting. How about you, Mom? Have you Do you have the push for the new year that's kind of?
This is a year for me where it's going to be new awareness, new awakenings. I want to see newness in my life. I want to see things that I haven't tried before. I want to try them now. Things that I have experienced, but I want to go into it further. I want this to be the year to experience that as well. So it's going to be a year of learning, I guess, is kind of sort of where I'm walking with that. For all different reasons, health reasons, education wise, everything else, even for our podcast sort of thing, and what we want to teach other people or other people to learn through what we're doing with the podcast. So that's sort of been my thing for this year.
Those are great, noble ideas. And you guys are reaching a lot of people with your podcast. And as I mentioned before, I marvel your relationship as mother and daughter. And that is also one of the unique situations, in my view.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Well, we love it. And I mean, I think it's something that we have to share with each other and can share with people our relationship. And people can see too then that you can, form these good bonds with your mother or your father or whoever.
And daughter.
Yes, with your mother, and the fact that you have similar interests, that you can actually, that both of you are on a spiritual path. Yeah. Both of you are awakened enough to have a conversation and go together to some kind of events. This is such a novelty in our time when in many families it doesn't happen. So
that's the truth.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think there's
you're definitely becoming an example for many. Good example.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. We really definitely appreciate that. It's funny that you should mention yoga. I just got to share this story because we're talking about synchronicities earlier. So, the girl that was on our podcast that released today was about yoga. And so then I went to work, and then I was putting some things on the events calendar at work, and they were both yoga. And so my boss said to me, "Oh my gosh, we just love yoga." And I said, "Oh, that's really interesting that this is popping up, right?" Because then I'm like, my podcast was about yoga today. And then we started talking, you talked about yoga. I'm like, maybe I should be doing yoga. It just keeps coming to me.
Yeah, maybe it is. It's like with me, decluttering to you is the message is yoga. Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought I'd share that. Just to tell people, right? That's how quick these little synchronicities come in, that it's like, okay, this is an aha moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Making a mental note about what is it I hear more than once or twice.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think we all have great intentions, and I'm super excited for you with your trilogy that you have going, and we think that's so amazing that you're pulling all these different things in and being able to share these stories out with your experiences to other people.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, I would like to read the beginning for my word to the reader from my book.
We would love that.
So you, 1 second, let me open it. So the word to my reader: animal companions, pets, four-legged friends, fur babies, perfect pals, man's best friend, tales of joy, fluff balls. How many endearing words and nicknames we affectionately call our beloved animals, because these special souls live with us and share their love, bringing us protection and comfort, affection and loyalty, joy and friendship, laughter and smiles, sadness and tears, attachment and compassion, kindness and empathy. The road to my heart is paved with paw prints, said someone, and I can confidently say that if you are holding this book, you too are subscribing to the same belief. If you love animals, have an animal or two, consider yourself a pet parent, grew up with an animal, then that animal left its paw prints on your heart.
That's the truth.
That's, I guess it's like
That
emotional,
is so
thinking about
true.
little animals, just like it's very heartfelt. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful because they do. They're such loyal. They're very loyal. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm starting new year with a new cat.
So new stories.
New story. I added her story to the book, how I got her, and how I believe I was guided by my late cat that just passed in September. I was guided
Sorry.
to her. Yeah. Oh, she was 17 and a half. She
Wow.
had great 17 and a half years. And she was 8 weeks old in my house.
Oh, wow.
Lots of good memories with her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. And those photographs all over the place that need to be digitized.
Yes, yes. Create new
You
ones.
will. You will
Yes.
do that.
You will get to all the things that you
I
have to do
will.
this year, I think.
Yeah.
And if not, I mean, we have the rest of our lives, but I think as long as we're making the steps towards where we need to go, I think that's what's really important. And we need to be, we need to give ourselves a little bit of grace as well when we're trying to travel through this life.
Travel and navigate.
Exactly. So speaking of navigating, can you tell people where to find you?
Well, if you're interested in past lives, reincarnation, and you want to learn more about yourself and awaken your intuition, bring your self-awareness to a different level, you can look up for my books. They are on Amazon, obviously. And the titles of my award-winning books are Turning the Pages and Turning New Pages. And this is the book, and I have not really can see it clearly, but the blue and yellow. And these colors came to me in meditation when I was at my yoga class, along with the title. And when I realized that those two colors are the chakra colors, and this one, the throat chakra, and this one is third chakra of self-empowerment. Both colors are coinciding. It was so interesting when later on, I knew what colors I need, but then I realized those were my fifth and third chakra colors.
Interesting.
Very cool. Very cool.
And later on, those are Ukraine colors, Ukraine flag.
Yes, they are.
That's true.
Interesting.
But that came later on.
Interesting how we're just guided with that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. Yes, and my second book is Turning New Pages about friendships. But once you find this one, you will be directed to the second one if you want to learn about my adventures through the times and space and everything else. I was in Egypt, in Atlantis, I was in Lemuria, and in so many other places. In Germany, in Austria, it was a fascinating journey. But in Scotland, that was a very interesting chapter.
Nice. Well,
would
I
be.
think everybody should get your books. So to look them on Amazon,
Yeah.
I'll put that in the show notes for people. And we really appreciate you being with us. If you had a final thought to leave with all of our followers and us, what would it be?
That would be my greetings and my wishes for all of you for a new year. New beginnings, year one, new beginnings, new friendships, great health, new friends, new learnings, and declutter your life.
Perfect. I love that.
Along with me.
Exactly. We can declutter together.
Yes,
Share our
we started. We already started it.
Did you?
Yes. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being on with us and sharing your wealth of knowledge that you have with us and our followers. And it was just great to reconnect with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And let me pull the card because I just heard the card. Let me pull the card for everyone.
Okay.
And you know what? I'll take this card from Denise Lynn, Time Traveler's deck, and see where we're going to travel.
I love her cards.
Yeah, they're beautifully done. So I'll just pull one card and see where we all. The card, you cannot see it, but the card is growth.
That's a perfect card for this year.
Perfect card for this year and perfect card for humanity. We all grow.
Yes.
Beautiful card too.
Yes, beautiful card.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you sharing that and pulling that because that's a perfect final message to everybody about just growing this year and just bringing that new growth into your life. So
right.
Thank you so
and
much.
remember the bamboo story. The bamboo is growing for a long time underneath, and then it spurs in the next 5 years. So we're all growing.
Yes.
So
yes,
to our growth. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm looking forward to see you again.
You
Sounds
betcha.
wonderful.
Thank you so much, Alla.
Yes.
Thank you.
Everybody else, we will see you on the next one.
You bet.